Are you cornplacent on the conveyor belt of your life? Do you have control? Compare and contrast the corners of your discomfort as you contemplate where you are and why you are here. Do you even remember how you got here? You consume the content, contort the context, consult your computer. Are you confused? Concerned? Are contusions left on your heart from all the inconsistencies and contradictions? Do you need to be consoled? With every pro, there is a corn. For every corn up, a corn down. Maybe it all balances itself out in the end. A yin and yang conjoined at the creases, conspiring a plan. It's as simple as you make it. Only as convoluted as you. Do nothing. Be everything. Stay corned.
Hello, Shady Pines Radio. Welcome back to the Cornologues. This is DJ Baby Snakes. I'm excited to return after a long hiatus from the corn with an interview with Dan Reeder, one of my new favorite songwriters. I discovered Dan Reeder several months back when he came on my Spotify shuffle. His song Born a Worm came on, and I became obsessed and discovered his other songs through research and had the harebrained idea to just send him an email and see if he wanted to do an interview. And he said yes, so here we are, and I hope you enjoy what you're about to hear. Dan Reeder has a West Coast tour coming up in March, early March. He may be sold out on March 3rd at Mississippi Studios, but maybe you could get a hold of a ticket if you try hard enough. And if you're located somewhere else on the West Coast, I don't think all of his shows are sold out, so you should go check it out. Go look up his tour and go see him live if you can.
Ring, ring. Hey, got a problem?
Got a gripe?
Got some kudos and love to give? Got something to say?
I need to express myself!
Shout it out loud. Share it with us, possibly the world. Dial 1-220-SP-RADIO.
Share a dirty limerick.
Hey, you got a request? 1-220-SP-RADIO. It's just there. Call us. Ring, ring.
Ew, no, David. Ew.
Hey, thanks for listening to our show. We'd like to especially thank Callie and Brian from Shady Pines Radio here in Portland, Oregon, United States, Earth. They are working hard to build a great community for musicians and some wannabe musicians like myself. They're running a full-time radio station, setting up shows for local acts and promoting bands, some of which kind of are lucky because they don't deserve it, like us at Molly Bang. We have a ton of great DJs here, all volunteers, including, but not limited to, Poor Boy, Big Papa Warrior, Werewolf, DJ Sag himself, and more. Please consider donating to Shady Pines, and if you haven't already, please download the app. Also, if you have friends in bands that you like, I'm not encouraging you to support bad music, or if you enjoy local performers, please go to their shows. Go constantly. Buy their stupid merch. Support them online. Stay tuned for more great music. Frank? Charles?
You, David!
I've been waiting for my cappuccino since 1969, and I'm beginning to suspect that the waitress forgot me. That guy over there has only been here for a year, and he just got dinner for his whole family. If I were Jesus, I'd command this dump to wither, board up its doors and windows forever.
I stumbled across your music about 3 weeks ago, I guess. And I'm surprised that I've never heard it before. It just came on randomly on my Spotify. and it was Born a Worm was the first one that I heard, and it's just the perfect song. I like listened to it on repeat for a while, and then just delved further into your music, and you quickly became one of my favorite songwriters just in the last few weeks. And then I just got on this kick where I'm like, maybe if I just email people, they'll let me interview them. And 3 times in a row, people I did not expect to get a response from were like, sure, why not? So here we are, and thanks for being here.
You know that? You're quite welcome. That song, Born a Worm, when I wrote it, I thought, oh man, what a wonderful genius song, Dan, you've done it this time.
Born a worm, spins a cocoon, goes to sleep, wakes up a butterfly. Oh, what the fuck is that about? What the fuck is that about? Born a worm, spins a cocoon, goes to sleep, wakes up a butterfly. Oh, what the fuck is that about? What the fuck is that about? Born a worm, spins a cocoon, goes to sleep, wakes up a butterfly. Oh, what the fuck is that about? What the fuck is that about? Boom, boom, boom. Born a worm, spins a cocoon, goes to sleep, wakes up a butterfly. Oh, what the fuck is that about? What the fuck is that about?
We put it up, and I found out, the internet told me within minutes, that there are 4 factual errors in the first 6 words of the song.
Born
like,
a worm, spins
they're
a
not
cocoon.
born, they're hatched out of eggs. They're not worms, they're caterpillars. They don't spin anything, their skin just sort of turns hard. And what that turns into is not a cocoon, it's the chrysalis. So
It's the definitions of things, but you get the idea still. But that is really, really funny. And
yeah, I love that song.
I don't know if you like looked into it more about like the whole cocoon phenomenon, but what really trips me out about that is caterpillars, technically, not worms. But that just, that has too many syllables. You can't, it wouldn't hit the same way. But,
Nothing wrong.
but like, they completely turn into goo. They like completely melt and then reform themselves.
You know, I was in England with my wife, and we saw 3 chrysalises hanging on like a trash can. They had attached themselves to this trash can. And we went out hiking around, and when we came back, there was a wasp, and the wasp was underneath the thing. It had bitten a hole in it and was eating the goo out of that chrysalis. So it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, what a dick. But also, nature and stuff.
Yeah.
But But yeah, I'm trying to like think about what I love about that song so much. Even before the words started, like it came on Spotify, and like just like the melody of the intro, I was like, I know I'm gonna like this song. I know it. It's gonna be good. Like it just has this really beautiful melody, and even though it's just like repeating the same thing over and over again, like you hook into something musically with it where it just like it hits the nerve. And anytime I'm listening to it, I feel like when it ends, I'm like, that could have been longer. And it's just because you get into it even more every time you say the line. And it's like you just start repeating it in like different characters. It really sinks in how weird that is. So, you know.
I do that song with my daughter, and we did it in Brooklyn, New York, at this place, and the people immediately started singing along, and they sang so loud. They sang so loud that all I could hear was like that on the inside of my head.
Yeah,
it was great, great fun.
Yeah. So you tour with your daughter mostly these days. That's another thing where I feel like the timing of me discovering you as an artist kind of was really cool. It's like I discovered you not that long ago, and then I looked up to see if you ever play, and I think there was like some interview you said where you're like, I hate performing. I'm too nervous about it. It's the worst, so I hardly ever do it. And I'm like, okay, he's probably not going to tour anymore. And then like 2 days later, a tour was announced, and I'm like, whoa. So,
well, you know what happened actually was this. We got invited to it's a festival, a music festival in West Virginia called Healing Appalachia, which is to raise money for opioid problem stuff, opioid recovery and that kind of stuff. So, all right, yeah, we'll do that. I asked my daughter if she wanted to go with me, and she said, all right. So she has to get off work, and she's doing her PhD in Heidelberg, and she has to get that all organized. Anyway, we went there, and the record company said, while you're in the United States, you could do a couple of more things. So we did a couple in Nashville, we did one in Memphis, and we did the West Virginia thing, and we also did 2 shows in New York City. And what happened that sort of like surprised us was the people knew all the lyrics to my songs, and they started cheering the minute we went on stage, and they sang with us the whole time. So there's like, fuck, there's nothing to be afraid of here.
Yeah.
It was it was nothing but positive.
It's really
so
fun.
I thought, okay. Yeah. Well, it was fun for us too in that case. And I thought, well, if it's going to be easy like that, then let's do it, because you do make some money. And of course, you get all kinds of praise and positive reinforcement or feedback. Yeah. So I thought, all right, if we get a chance, well, Peggy has to get off work and whatnot, so it's kind of hard to organize. But when she's there, it's also much easier for me. Like she plays the guitar better than I do, and she sings better than I do. So it's great.
Yeah. I think, have you ever played in Portland, Oregon before?
No.
Well, the venue they have you at, Mississippi Studios, is really fun. I think it's a perfect venue for you, and you'll be well received on March 3rd.
Yeah, it's already sold out, I think.
Oh, dang. Well, I guess I don't need to have... I'm glad I got tickets when I did.
Yeah, it's sold out, and Seattle is also sold out. So...
Dang.
You're gonna have to tell her where the money went. Why you can't pay the rent. Why you have to move. Ooh. You're gonna have to tell her what happened to the car. And who those guys are in the living room. Oh, 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 no. Nobody wants to be you. And who's She's showing everybody her ultrasound. And what does that have to do with you? Whoa, 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 nobody wants to be you. Did you really think you could just move away? How dumb are you anyhow? You know those guys have their guys everywhere. They're probably watching us right now. You're gonna have to tell her where the money went. Ooh, why you can't pay the rent, why you have to move. You're gonna have to tell her what happened to the car and who those guys are in the living room. Whoa, 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 nobody wants to be, nobody wants to be, nobody wants to be you.
What's the trajectory of your music career? Because it seems like, you know, all the songs that you've done, they're all recorded when you're already old. So like, were you like touring and stuff when you were you writing songs in your earlier days?
Not really. It's like this. I'm actually a painter. I came to Germany and started. Well, I'm a painter. My career was being a visual artist.
I've looked at some of it.
Yeah, I did okay as a painter. Like I've had shows in every museum and every place in this town, and in Munich and around. And I got a computer, and I've always liked to sing harmony. And the computer, actually the Pentium processor, made it possible for me to sing harmony with myself. So I started sort of upgrading my computer until I could record on it. And then I started I recorded Angel Band about 500 times. And at some point you get tired of singing Angel Band. So I started writing songs just out of sort of boredom with Angel Band.
And turns out you're really good at it.
Who knew?
So yeah. How long ago was that you discovered that you were also a songwriter?
That's like 2000, I guess.
Year 2000?
Year 2000.
Cool.
Yeah.
It makes me feel very hopeful about my trajectory as a musician. Like I always try to have like a mindset about it, like starting young and like just thinking about, like I've been writing songs since I was a teenager, and like and now I'm like in my 30s, and they're so much better than they were when I was a teenager. And then I feel like a lot of people have this state of mind of like, once you reach a certain point in life, you just kind of plateau and nothing new can happen after that. And then you're just gonna, everything's gonna be what you did. And as far as I can tell, like you just keep getting cooler when you get older. And you could decide to do something different and new at any time. It's never like, I feel like a lot of people will have like this mindset of like, oh, I should have done something else with my life when they're like 32, and it makes you kind of want to slap them.
Well, in my case, like painting pictures and making songs are sort of the same thing. Because I'm basically playing, like really just fucking around playing.
Yeah,
it's play. And so whether it's a song or a picture or whatever it is, that's or making. So like for a while I was into doing electronics. Like I had to figure out how to make my own preamplifiers and stuff. Because as an artist, you don't have a lot of money usually.
Yeah.
I mean, a few guys do, but most of us don't. So I had to find out how to do that stuff, and you can play with that stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, made all kinds of wacky electronic stuff. Yeah, so I think it's important just to play.
It seems very obvious to me that you should do your best to build your life around spending the time that you have doing things that are fun. And
yeah, fun.
And I feel like a lot of people haven't figured that out yet, but you seem to have figured that out.
I can tell you the exact history of it. I used to sit always, because they sat us in school alphabetically. I sat very close to a guy named Joe Sloan. We were in like 7th, 8th grade together.
Okay.
We would make little cartoons and pass them back and forth, and we just cracked up. Well, I learned how to laugh silently in the 7th grade, passing notes back and forth with Joe Sloan. And basically that's what my paintings and songs are still. There's been no development of any kind. It's just that exact same thing. That's how it actually started.
That's really cool. So you've been on the same path since like 8th grade then to where you are now.
Yeah, actually I didn't seriously pursue anything until I must have been 27. I had a girlfriend, and she looked at my college transcripts and stuff, and she said, Jesus, Dan, the Navy wouldn't take you. She convinced me I had to sort of commit to doing something.
Yeah.
No matter what it was, but you have to kind of concentrate. You can't just sort of drift around doing nothing. So, yeah, that was kind of an important thing, because you have to kind of you have to commit to doing something.
Yeah.
And you have to, I mean, for me, in my case, I was trying to find something that I thought would be sort of worth doing.
Yeah.
And painting pictures or making art of whatever kind is sort of, well, my father was a preacher and my grandfather was a preacher, and I'm sort of a preacher myself. and that's a way to do it without being a preacher.
You're kind of right. I was tripping out the other day about like the profession of preaching, like, and it's just something maybe I don't know about, but like.
Well, I can tell you this: in Germany, it's completely different. In the United States, if you're a preacher or a minister, you're expected to sort of write sermons based on your own experience and your own faith or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you're also expected to do all the things that a minister has to do: bury people, marry people, console people when they're having a hard time. In Germany, the German Lutheran Church basically tells the ministers what the subject of this week's sermon is going to be, and then I don't know exactly how it works, but there is sort of an official like theme for the sermons this week, and they do that, and they also have to take care of course, the real estate of the church and do all the marrying and burying and all that stuff too. So it's a little bit different. In the United States, it's based more on personal experience.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I was never raised with any religion, so I've always just kind of been curious about how those systems work sometimes. But I really like your what you said about how songwriting or even painting, because it's just it comes from a similar place of just like self-expression. It's kind of your way of being a preacher. And I've never really thought about it like that, but I'm always just thinking about it as a way to whittle down as like finely as you can just the essence of a thought you've been kind of thinking about and like circumambulating in your head, and you're just trying to find the best way to say something that's in your head and then songs or art will come out in a way. But
yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Well, yesterday I was just another white guy, but I'm a blues band today. I can hear those colored girls singing in the background, honey. Ooh, just like in the bathtub. It's a thing, 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 thing. I'm a white guy, but I'm a blues band today. And just like all the rest of us, I'm a little bit ashamed of mine. My little bit of pee-pee. Little bit of pee-pee. My little bit of pee-pee. I'm ashamed of my little bit of pee-pee. 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 My little bit.
you started writing songs like 24 years ago, I guess. How did you end up finding a label? How did you end up, because it's like,
It was a complete accident. Well, almost a complete accident. It started out as a cassette, a cassette tape.
mm-hmm.
And there was a guy here in Nuremberg who's a harmonica player, plays blues harmonica, and he heard it and he wanted to buy one. I said, I'll just give it to you. No, I'm gonna buy it. So he gave me 15 euros for it, and it's like, okay, I'll take it. And then I got a CD burner, which at that time not all computers had that.
Mm-hmm.
And I started making home-burned CDs and selling them, which was like bank robbery. You buy a CD for 50 cents and you sell it for 15 euros, and nobody knows you've got the money, So I'd sold quite a few of those, actually. And then I thought, well, I'll send one to some people that I like some musicians that I like, just as sort of a thank you. And the only guy I could find an address for was Sean Prine.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't get to these other guys. Bruce Springsteen, I don't know what his address is. None of these people. You can't just get to them. So I sent one to John Prine, and with a little note saying how I had done it and blah blah blah. And I got a call from Al Burnetta, John Prine's manager and the co-owner of Oh Boy Records, and he told me that they wanted to put my record out. And then John actually, because they normally would have treated it, any other record company would have treated it like a demo.
Yeah.
And they would say, come record it professionally. We'll get your producer, and they'll put strings in here or get a good guitar player or whatever. And John said, no, I like it the way it is. Let's just leave it the way it is. So other than evening out the volumes, so you didn't have to constantly turn it up and down, they left it just the way it was. They took one song off at the very end, I think. But other than that, they left it the way it is.
I got all the fucking work I need. 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 I got all the fucking work I need.
Yeah, that's me. Like John Prine's, you just mailed him a CD and he was like, okay. I don't know. It's kind of reminding me of this power trip that I'm on right now about like emailing you. I have someone else that I really didn't expect to hear back from with just like these interviews. But so you just got to try sometimes. Like, why not send a CD to John Prine and see where it takes you?
You know, the thing is, I was not trying to get a record contract. It was legitimately a thank you note for the great music that he's made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had no hopes beyond that. It was like I was done sort of selling them homemade ones, and I sent him one as a thank you, and I would have sent more of them, but it ended up working out. Kind of like and also I've been told that this never happens. It's like, this does not happen, what happened to me. And I've been with John Prine when people gave him CDs, and we were driving across Canada. I was on a tour with him going across Canada, and we listened to some of them, and most of them are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, really, it's like most of them are actually guys trying to sound like John Prine.
Yeah.
No, I mean, really, it's like, and so you listen to one or two songs, and then that's it, no more.
Yeah.
And I noticed doing it, like, oh, that's why they listen to mine, because I'm not trying to sound like John Prine, and mine is like completely different than this. Like, I get the feeling that most people, when they start to write a song, they start looking for things that rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even thinking about something to say.
Mm-hmm.
They're just looking for something that rhymes. Or maybe sometimes they'll have like a nice guitar part or a good melody or something. But yeah, just something that rhymes. It's like, just not very interesting.
It's super cool hearing that story because like, you know that he listens to them. He didn't just get like jaded by listening to everyone's shitty music. Like, he gave everyone's a listen, and that's how he heard yours. So that's good.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that speaks to the character a little bit. But with the people's problem with songwriting, I think it's less about like just trying to find rhyming words, but it's more about the trying to sound like John Prine thing. Like, I think a lot of people haven't figured out that like the whole point of art and like being a songwriter, like if that's the sort of person you want to be in life, and there's a lot of other things you can be if that's not who you are, it's like expressing your thoughts. It's like finding the best way to, express what's authentically your vibe. And I think a lot of people are trying to be like, well, this is what great people, these are what the famous people are like, so that's what I'm gonna sound like. And people pay attention when you figure out how to sound like yourself.
I did a painting sort of about that. It's called Panel of Experts. Mm-hmm. It's these 6 creepy old looking people, and it starts off with they're all got Sprechblasen, the little thing where they're talking. And the first one says, "We have seen great art." And the next one says, "We know what it looks like." And the last one says, "If we were to see it again, we would recognize it immediately."
Yeah.
Of course, they don't recognize it immediately because who knows what it's going to look like.
That's true. And then, I don't know, just like it's a trip thinking about the luck you had. Like, I'm thinking about just like the times, which 2000 was a long time ago now, but I often find myself feeling frustrated now that like CD players aren't even built in laptops anymore. Like, I print CDs for my stuff because I know some people still have them in their cars, and people still want to buy them for some reason. But now it's like preaching to like trying to figure out some sort of nebulous algorithmic. It's like, and like the most popular music is getting worse in some sort of way on a steady sort of downhill thing, and now you have to like really dig and find like the niche things on like some random playlist that was curated by some random person. It's less cut and dry what you're supposed to do as an artist these days, and I feel like you really did the right thing at like the right time in a way that like it couldn't like it lined up perfectly. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, what happened that was very lucky for me was there's this sort of home recording revolution that happened where you can make studio quality recordings anywhere now. The equipment's gotten much better. It's much easier to use. And it wasn't that easy in the year 2000, but it was doable. Mm-hmm. And that had never happened before. Never. It's like you had to, if you wanted to record music, you had to go to a studio because they had these big tape machines and they had this, that, and the other thing. And I mean, that was like, I saw that when I was like 17, I would have killed for a fucking 4-track tape deck. Mm-hmm. They had those, but they're terrible. They're terrible to use. And the computer made it possible. Like the recording revolution, I was right there for that, man. I saw that and was like, oh yeah, let's jump on that.
Yeah, no, the timing was very good. I'm self-producing stuff on my laptop now, and I wish it was cool. I wish I was in the time where that was cool, but I'm working with what I have. I agree. I think it is cool, but I think as like a cultural whole, it's less of a people are over it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't actually care. I just do what I do. I've got my mess here, and I finally wised up and bought a universal audio interface. So I don't have trouble with noise anymore. I've got good microphones now, which actually is stupid because nobody cares. Like, actually, they don't care about the quality of the sound. I thought it mattered. It doesn't. Yeah, like my voice sounds like my voice no matter what microphone I use. The only difference is it's more fun to sing over a good microphone. It sort of inspires you to sing better.
Yeah. So
basically nobody gives a shit.
I've been kind of tripping out about something related to that. Because like I write songs and I've had it in my head like, you know, there's people who know what sounds right, and you gotta go to the studio and pay them the money to, like, you know, get it how it should be. And like, these places exist for a reason because they have like an ear that's important. And I don't think that there's like no truth to that. But like, I've been doing, you know, recordings with my little audio interface in my room and putting them on like my Patreon page for like people who subscribe to that. And like, I've been getting better at that, and I'm like listening, and if it's really stripped down, and maybe it's just something that I can't hear, but I really can't hear like the $1,000 difference between a studio recording and a home recording, and I wonder if it's all kind of made up.
Yep. Well, you know, my manager's boyfriend is he's an audio engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got, I think, 3 Grammys now.
Mm-hmm.
And he hears stuff that I don't hear, and like a lot of, I'm all for home recording, and I think home recording is great. And I also have noticed that you can do with a $30 microphone the same thing that you do with a $5,000 microphone.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is that it's more fun to sing into the expensive one.
Yeah.
but like these good engineers, they do shit that you can't do. That's just to be expected, though. You know.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that what you're doing is bad or that theirs is $1,000 better, but that's sort of not the point. Is the thing. Like, you can make it sound better, and God, man, when somebody who knows what they're doing takes your stuff and fixes it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I had a couple of songs in movies,
mm-hmm.
and they cleaned it up and got rid of the noise and stuff,
mm-hmm.
and I couldn't fucking believe it. It's like it's in a movie theater and it's really loud and it sounds good.
Yeah.
I think, what the fuck did they do? How did they do that?
Yeah, it is magic. And I find like the more, you know, complicated your arrangement is, like I'm going to release an album pretty soon that's completely self-produced, but this is the first time I've done this. I've kind of like made the decision of like, I'm going to do a self-produced thing, but it's very stripped down. It's just like me and my guitar and some harmonies and whatnot. And I have some other stuff that I did in a studio where I have like drums and bass and like other stuff. And I'm like, I wouldn't want to try that on my own. That seems, I like mixing all of those components and recording all of those components when you got drums and stuff is a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, well, the can of worms is where those engineers, with their $5,000 compressors and their $5,000 EQs, you know, the tube EQs and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what you're listening for too. Like, I can't do drums,
Mm-hmm.
but those guys can. And that's where, yeah, like you say, that's what makes a difference. You know what? I'm gonna have to go. My family is waiting for me at a restaurant.
Okay, well, I very much appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. I feel like we covered some important topics. We got to the root of what I really wanted to talk about. So thank you very much for being here. And I look forward to seeing you in Portland in just a few months here.
Okay.
All right. Well, have a good dinner with your family.
I will.
I inject your kryptonite into my brain. It improves my kung fu and it eases the pain during acceleration when the pedal hits the floor. This thing burns nitroglycerin and powdered C4, and I will always love you. I drive a modified T-Series Lola. It's kinda heavy, but I like the feel. When I say Vietnam, it sounds just like Coca-Cola. I believe most anything as long as it's not real, and I will always love you. I battle aliens from outer space. They got one eye right in the middle of their face. I grab my laser gun, I know my place. Somebody has to save the human race, and I will always love you. It seems hopeless, but wouldn't you know? They got a weakness and they let it show. They can't jump and they're a little bit slow. When I say World War II, I mean the video, and I help me Elvis, I help me Elvis, I come on now Elvis. I can't help falling in love with you. Man who's usually careful met the man who just didn't care. They went to the house of the man or a mouse and met the mailman there. And the man with a plan, the man on a mission, the man who could do no wrong. They all stood around in the kitchen and sang the following song. I drink beer to improve my mind, end all war, help mankind through these dark and trying times. Hey, batter, 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 hey, batter, hey, swing, batter, swing, hey, swing away, swing for the fence, live for the day, put your life in Jesus' hand, shut your eyes just as tight as you can and swing like a man, like a man, like a man. Save those whales. I drink beer for the revolution. Hey, batter, 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 hey, batter, hey, swing, batter, swing, hey, swing away, swing for the fence, live for the day. Hey, put your life in Jesus' hand, shut your eyes as tight as you can and swing like a man, like a man, like a man, 'cause we are men, men we shall remain, we shall remain men until we go home. We are men, men we shall remain, we shall remain men until we go home. Oh, the the other way, but from down here it appears that when they're gone, they're gone. Me and Stevie Gibson used to walk home from school. He used to have this with the turnaround rule. If you turn around the one way, you gotta turn around the other way or it's bad luck. Went out rafting on the river. The river went around and the raft went around, and his luck got all wound up and he drowned and he was gone. Maybe Jesus beat that rap, we're not sure. Maybe you can live forever if your heart is pure. Maybe you'll come back someday as a king prawn. Maybe angels come and take you away to heaven or the other way, but from down here it appears that when they're gone, they're gone. 2 weeks after Dieter died, you could call him on the phone. He would tell you that he's not home, and it gave you an eerie feeling even though you knew it was just an answering machine. 'Cause somewhere deep inside you know that they don't come back when they go, and he had gone, and when they're gone, they're gone. Maybe Jesus beat that rap, we're not sure. Maybe you can live forever if your heart is pure. Maybe you'll come back someday as a bug in a lawn. Maybe angels come and take you away to heaven or the other way, but from down here it appears that when they're gone, they're gone. My mother died in intensive care. We were sitting around singing on folding chairs when I got the feeling somebody wasn't there. Well, I counted noses, but it came out right. The doctors say she died that night, but I felt that hole and I knew that she was gone. Maybe Jesus beat that rap, we're not sure. Maybe you can live forever if your heart is pure. Maybe you'll come back someday as a king prawn. Maybe angels come and take you away to heaven or the other way, but from down here it appears that when they're gone, they're gone. I looked up death in the dictionary one day just to see what the dictionary had to say. It's the complete and irreversible cessation of life functions, which is not very poetic, but it's precise and clean. And if you analyze it, what that means is when they're gone, they're gone. Maybe Jesus beat that rap, we're not sure. Maybe you can live forever if your heart is pure. Maybe you'll come back someday as a king prawn. Maybe angels come and take you away to heaven or the other way, but from down here it appears that when they're gone, they're gone. Pussy titty, a boom titty boom. Who wrote all the jokes on the wall in the men's room? Well, I know it wasn't me and it couldn't been you, 'cause all the jokes you know I know too. Oh, pussy titty, a boom titty boom. Who drew all the pictures on the wall in the men's room? Well, I know it wasn't you, but it might have been me. How can you draw what you never seen? Oh, pussy titty, a boom titty boom. Who put the crack in the soap on the sink in the men's room? Well, a man is a man is a man is a man. If you pee on your fingers, gotta wash your hands. Oh, pussy titty, a boom titty boom. Who cast their vote on the wall in the men's room? Well, I hope to God the word never gets around that a vote on the men's room wall don't count. And when a cowboy says women, he means two different kinds. There's the real kind, and then there's the kind in his mind. And the real kind is a mystery that he can't understand, but the mind kind he knows like palm of his hand. Oh, the mankind he knows like the palm of his hand. So up, get along, doggy, little doggy, get along. The nights on the prairie are lonely and long, and he'll camp down in the canyon when the moon lights the land and meet there the ladies that he understands. Oh, he'll meet there the ladies that he understands. Your fiddle and play me that song about the two kinds of women and the nights that are long, and the camp down in the canyon, the ladies so fine, the one about how cowboys jack off all the time. Oh, the one about how cowboys jack off all the time. And it's a hup, get along, doggy, little doggy, get along. The nights on the prairie are lonely and long, and old Buck loves to play it, 'cause Buck knows it's true. You know, deep in his heart, he's a damn cowboy too. I guess deep in our hearts, we're all damn cowboys too. So up, get along, doggy, little doggy, get along. The nights on the prairie are lonely and long, and we'll camp down in the canyon when the moon lights the land, and meet there the ladies that we understand. Oh, we'll meet there the ladies that we understand. Oh,